Can you all hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I think what happened was that it went on mute. That's what happened. So I was here the whole time, but like nobody could hear me. Please call Sanjay Dikshit ji from Jaipur Dialogues. Yeah, Pratik, I'll definitely try and call him when he has the time. As you know, he's really busy with Jaipur Dialogues, but definitely, if there is some topic that we can discuss, then I would love to have him here. Can you guys hear me clearly now? Is there any issue with the mic, or is it fine now? Okay. I need to check with my team. Is it fine? The mic, are you all able to hear me?
Yep, crystal clear.
Oh, mic volume is perfect. There's no shrill, there's no echo, there's nothing of that sort.
Nope, all okay.
All right. So then I think we're good to go. And getting a green screen also. So one of my friends who does podcasts said get a green screen because then you can kind of do something, like have a background. And I guess the aim is just to look a little more professional of sorts. So I have my lovely tech team with me here. My team Afghanistan update. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we should have a conversation on that for sure. It's really very scary enough. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. It's a situation that's just spiraling out of control, and the Americans are going to be out by September, and the Taliban is increasingly taking control of the country. And I don't know if you all heard about what happened with the Afghan ambassador's daughter, 26-year-old daughter in Islamabad. It's absolutely shocking. She was kidnapped and tortured. There were images of her that were seen online, and there was, I think, her eye or her forehead. There was blood coming down, and it was horrible. And because of that, then Afghanistan has recalled their ambassador and said that we don't really want to kind of so I mean, what I'm trying to say here is that Pakistan is of course helping the Taliban and open about it. So one has to see what comes of it, but it's just not looking good. And the last thing we need is some more drama over there. I mean, it's really sad. The things that were achieved in the last 20 years, the somewhat freedoms that were achieved, especially for women, are looking like they're going to be lost very, very soon. So that's very sad. Robin, no, I don't have a link of an Apple podcast of yours. In fact, Shashank is here with me. He's part of my tech team. Shashank, we were trying to get ourselves on Spotify because there were a lot of people who said that we should get on to like Spotify or something. But we've still not figured that out, right?
We figured it out. We'll get that going in the next couple of days.
Okay, is that a difficult thing to do to get on Spotify?
No, it's pretty straightforward. We'll go ahead with it.
We'll go ahead with it. Yeah, I don't know about Apple Podcasts. I don't know if it's do you have to be eligible to get onto Apple Podcasts, or do you just get onto it easily? I don't even know what it is. Hi, Batman. Spotify is good as well. Yeah, Robin. It is. It is. We just need to figure out how to do it. Sarita, blank screen because we're just doing a tech check. Soon we'll do a lighting check. We'll do everything. We're just trying to improve this because every time I get online, there's always complaints about my audio. And as you all know, some of you know, yesterday I did come online and I was online for half an hour and we did like an impromptu Q&A also. And the audio was working perfectly. But then what happened next was before the Sunday Club, I plugged in the audio, the mic. It's a Blue Yeti mic, which I'm told is like the best, one of the best you can have. And plugged in the mic, and the moment the mic plugged in, I couldn't hear anybody else. So unfortunately, I had to unplug my mic. And then today, I spoke with my team, who's online with me, and kind of ask them that if they can join me and help me figure this out. So that's what we've done right now, is that we've figured out exactly how to get this working. So that's something that's interesting. My face is not appearing because the video is off. This was just supposed to be an audio check, and I thought if some of you are watching, then you can let me know if it's doing fine. So that's really why there's no face right now. Get the blue screen, like Venkat, I'm getting a green screen. There's a company called Elgato which is supposed to be really good, and it's a collapsible green screen because, like, I mean, space is hard to come by. So I bought this green screen, and it basically, you just lift it up, and I bought the whole stand and the cloth, the fabric, but it wasn't working for me. So now I've gone ahead and done this. AIM is on a couple of other podcasts. I did ask him to come on. He but that was that. Sharma the gamer. Oh wow, your grandmother watches this. Wonderful. Thank you so much. In fact, my grandmother's real sister, I never met my nani, so she's the only person I know. She watches the show regularly as well. So that's also nice. Why the presence of Northeast India in our film industry so low? Batman, that's a very good question. I think there is a certain bias and lack of characterizations. And I think it definitely needs to improve, and we need to have more diversity that we see on screen. Unfortunately, that's not happening. But I do see it changing. Most recently there was this one show, right, on the Northeast, which was beautifully made. Yeah. Did it have Manoj? No, it had Sanjay Kapoor in it. It was a mystery, and it had Sanjay Kapoor in it, and it was there. Now that was what was working out. Wait, Agnish, no, my mic gets interrupted because now I've changed the mic. I'm using a Blue Yeti right now, so that's what we're trying to get going. Yeah, Venkat, Elgato is good. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I need recording devices as well, or do you mean recording devices? I don't necessarily think I need a recording device or recording devices. This thing. Akash Bhatt Kaju was full on meds yesterday. Well, I mean, Justice Kaju is 75 years old, and I think it's very important to be respectful of someone at that age, given their experience and, their life. So, I mean, you can disagree with someone, but I'm very disappointed that, some of the comments about him are kind of abusive. And that's not cool because, he's an older gentleman and he has his views, and why not? I mean, that's everyone has their views. But if you want to disagree with him, please disagree with him, but don't get abusive. So that's something that kind of bothers me a little bit. How to make Odisha great again is to Gurudat is to take back the Rashagulla, because that has been claimed by West Bengal. So if you want to make Odisha great again, then take claim on the Rashagulla again. And yeah, so we're actually also looking at bringing some new shows on the channel, and we will introduce some new interesting stuff, because I think a lot of it we do is like politics and political, but I think I would personally like to do other things as well, and have other content. Sohail, wait, no, Mr. Ninja is asking. Sohail will not be on the show tonight, but we have an interesting show coming forward with Sohail. So keep an eye out for that. Um, Sohail wants to know. Oops, the chat is moving so fast now. I'm not able to keep track. Sohail wants to know, what, in your opinion, is the reason we haven't made shows based on Indian civilization? I know, really. I mean, I think it's definitely something we can do and we should do, because we have such a rich civilizational history. But like everything, I mean, show business or movies or web series, it is a business, and people have to be willing to invest that kind of money in a project like that, because it'll obviously be very expensive if you want to do it at that level, at the level of Game of Thrones, or even if not at that level, but at least, at a believable level, like a Bahubali level. You'll have to invest a lot of money, and I don't think that, we invest that kind of money. And I think it would make sense to do it, because it's something that could travel the world today because of OTT. A lot of the content that we watch in India comes from abroad. Like, we're watching Turkish shows, we're watching South Korean shows. So I don't see why an Indian show can't travel the world like that, and that would justify spending a lot of money in it. So That would be interesting. Rima, hi. Kahani was just Kahani one. The first Kahani is the Vidya Bagchi one, is the one that I'm associated with. I think that story in itself finished with that film. So I don't think Kahani 2 did that well, unfortunately, because I think part of it is that the expectations from one were so high that it wasn't um, that interesting for people or whatever it was. But yeah, I think Kahani did its job, and it was interesting in its time. And as a creative person, you want to move on and do different things. But one thing I can tell you, Rima, for sure, is that my next project, or one of my next projects, is based in West Bengal again. So I'm really excited about that, because I love West Bengal, and I spent some time in Kolkata, and there's a part of West Bengal which is unexplored on screen, in terms of visually. So I think it would be really interesting to do something there, and I'm really looking forward to doing that. Okay, Gurudat wants to know IAS and IPS or judiciary. I mean, who is more powerful? Good question. I don't know who's more powerful, really. I think sometimes they're all in sync. But other than that, a lot of times they're in conflict. A lot of times they're controlled. It's very, very complex. Roy is saying, better get proper lighting for yourself, please. My God, you guys are so demanding. I mean, I just about fixed my mic, and you've already moved on to the lighting. Oh, Robin, I'm so happy. Yeah, it is a lot better. Yeah, thank you so much. I did a lot of research, and then I have a friend of mine actually who has a great podcast on YouTube. He runs a training sales academy called Gaurav Bhagat Academy, and he has a really professional looking YouTube setup. So I took his advice, and he told me what mic to get, what green screen to get. Oh, Swadhin, thank you so much. That's so sweet. And he told me, what to get, and what green screen and all of that. So we're learning on the go. I do think that this is the future. Tech is the future, and yeah, so that's really important that we are. Streaming and this YouTubing, and I think that's the future of media. Really, in many ways, there's a certain fatigue with mainstream media. So I think that's going to change. Last Sunday was one of the best, but in the end, it evolved into a tutu meme. I know, to and fro. Yeah, sometimes things really spiral out of control, and I felt a little bad also, because the one thing that we do try and do on the Sunday Club is not get into tutu memes and not go down the path of mainstream media where everybody's jumping down each other's throats and fighting. So that's one thing that we do. Piyush says, bring Rahul Gandhi to your show. I don't know if he'll come. Yeah, I mean, I would love to, but I don't really think he engages that much, does he? I don't know. I haven't seen any interview of his in a long time, so I don't think we're there yet where we can expect to have Rahul Gandhi on our show. Please bring Ashish Dhar from Upward on your show. Sure, I'd be happy to do that. The format is that we do this every Sunday, like you all know, and we have our steady panel, which is Abhijit, Suhail, and me. And then, depending on the topics, we subsequently bring other people on. So we're kind of experimenting with how we want to do it, and that's why I like listen to your feedback so carefully, not the rubbish feedback, because there's a lot of rubbish feedback also that comes, but that's okay. It's an open platform, anyone can say anything. But certainly the interesting feedback is something that we do take on board. And like the audio thing was really getting to be a problem, so 2 days in a row now I'm doing tech checks, and I'm doing these chats with you all, because you've been kind enough to give me feedback on the audio, and you're still giving me feedback on the audio. So that's that. Food Art Tech says, please don't call Justice Kaju. He's very disappointing because he is so biased. The thing is, people have their opinions, right? And if you don't agree with someone's opinion, then I'm sure it sounds biased to you, and that's natural. And one does kind of see that. Yeah, I can understand the problem with somebody who's a public servant, and if you see bias coming from that person, then you that can be unsettling, because you assume that, like journalists, even public servants will kind of not have any kind of political bias, and hence we don't have to fear anything from them if we have hold certain political views. So I understand the discomfort with that, but however, Justice Kaju is a retired justice now, and he's a free citizen, and he has an opinion, and he airs it, I think, quite decisively and fairly. Could you have a discussion episode on the challenges of making judicial reforms? Frankly, Sohail, I want to kind of take a break from lawyers after yesterday's show, because it got so hectic. I want to take like a day or two, like a week or two rather, because we're once a week off, and then get lawyers back on, because you see, lawyers, I've realized, they love to argue. Obviously, that's what they do for a living, and I think they could argue about anything. So if you're ready for like a nice robust argument on the show, then I think those are the guys that you need to have on. But the Sunday Club, as you all know, it's kind of like a living room chat, and people just chill out and hang out and listen in, and we engage with the comments and the chat. So it would be nice to do that, continue to do that. What do you think, Shashank? Are you still there?
Yeah,
Are you there, Shashank?
yeah, I'm looking.
Okay, I can't hear Shashank. Is there a problem? Del, are you there? Del is there. I can't hear my.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. I got scared. I thought again it's not working.
No, that's the irony. The tech support's mic stopped working. So yeah.
Oh, I know. Tech support stops working, then we're going to look really unprofessional. But yeah, but I mean, so Shashank sort of helps with the tech stuff, and he is he's running a startup actually. Shashank, you want to tell them a little bit about your startup?
Sure. So I have a startup called Ekak Innovations. We work in the social space. We are a social enterprise, but we are not we are a for-profit social enterprise. We are not an NGO, and
Mhm.
we tackle problems that are being faced by rural farmers in India and Africa. And we recently got into the road safety space. So we are coming out with a cool product that anyone can put on their vehicle and make it smarter. So whether it's a 10-year-old Wagoner or if it's an Audi, and you can make your vehicle become smarter and safer with our device. So yeah, that's a very quick intro to the stuff I do.
Yeah, Bobby, this is Sans video, because we were just doing a tech check on the audio. So people had questions, so we started chatting. But Shashank, that's interesting. Africa and India, two countries where you work. I think. Do you see some similarity between the two countries? I mean, we're both post-colonial societies, and have that baggage with us. Oh
So
wait.
yeah, one of the common things when I was there in Tanzania, which I realized was that we both are agrarian economies, heavily reliant on agriculture. So that is the backbone for both the countries. But apart from that, people as a whole, we tend to, there's been a couple of racism things also that has happened in India
Yeah,
towards Africans.
yeah.
But in reality, there's more that bonds us than that separates us. And I had an amazing time living on the islands with the fishermen and on the cities.
How cool.
They're just so welcoming and warm. And I was pleasantly surprised with all the perception and the hate that goes around on social media.
Yeah.
But it was a welcome, welcome change when I was there.
Hmm. Okay,
So from
everybody
a
is
background
still
perspective,
here.
uh,
Everybody's still going on about Justice Kaju, so I think I need to address some of these. Uh, Nayan bikes are okay. Now so he's kind of what you want, a Swami versus Justice Kaju debate, which is moderated by AI. I don't know. I don't know about that, but that sounds interesting for sure. Uh, anyway, right. So again, now this is started. Now you all are just going on one track only. In fact, the messages were overflowing because everybody was just commenting on things like that. Okay, Kshitij, thankfully something new. Please do a show about NGOs like ISKCON, Art of Living, Isha, etc. which are present in more than 160 countries and improving India's image globally. Suhail has been a great admirer of them. Yeah, and there's also the Heartfulness Foundation, which has Daji. So they're amazing, frankly. And in fact, one of the Isha people sent me Sadhguru's new book also. So he's writing a book. I remember once some years ago he did a recipe book, and I reviewed that. So definitely, I would love to have them on. Roy is saying, please keep less guests to four so that they can put their opinions, views forwards. Also, interchange AIM and Suhail as floaters. Put Shehzad, Abhinav Prakash, S. Deepak also. Keep Kaju for fair cross opinion. Wow, Roy, do you want to work with my guest coordination team? This is what I envy, mainstream media channels. They have these huge guest coordination teams, who are able to like think like you've thought right now in terms of mixing up combinations. It's tough work, I have to say, to get the right people on a panel and to be able to talk about certain things. Um, you know can do this kind of guest coordination thing is tough. It's really tough, yeah, because I remember last week there were some people who were upset that there wasn't any woman on the panel from the population discussion. And I said I was, but I don't know, I mean, they're still kind of trying to figure out exactly what this is, whether this is like a proper debate show or is it just a conversation. So when it's a conversation, then I'm on, Abhijit is on, Suhail is on, and I think we've got a few boxes checked when the three of us are on any panel, be it any kind of diversity and minority or whatever gender. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, but definitely one can work harder on this. Piyush ji, Mohan Bhagwat ji doesn't really come on YouTube. you know, I mean, I've done an interview with him some many years ago. If you all want to read that, it was the cover story for Open Magazine, and it was a wonderful interview. He spoke openly. So he doesn't really do YouTube, but one day if he does, who knows? I mean, one is always hopeful. I would love to. He's a wonderful person to speak with. He speaks in very simple terms. He's a very simple human being, and Mohanji will tell you stories, and that's how he kind of communicates. So he's a storyteller also in a lot of ways, and has a great sense of humor. So I would love for him to come. Please don't invite Kaju. Okay, I just read a message where someone said, please get Kaju every time. And now someone is saying, don't invite Kaju. Can you bring the great Khali on the show? I don't know if I can. I don't know what I would ask him, frankly. I mean, even if I did. But I do want to do interviews. I think that might be a good idea to do like one on one interviews with people from different walks of life. I think that should be. Uh, Arshal is saying play Arnab's audio in between whenever guests start arguing loudly. Nobody shouts louder than Arnab. I'll have to take his permission if I can use his audio every time they start shouting on my show. Then that might be a fun thing to do. What do you think about Parliament Gherao by so-called farmer leader by Rakesh Tikayat? Will it work? Well, I think, I mean, this farmer uh, agitation or whatever, which is basically three states, not a Chetan Bhagat book, but two and a half states is more like it. Punjab, Haryana, and Western UP. And I found it interesting that Tikayat's representative, whoever was fighting the local election there, didn't even win. And in Western UP, which is like the farmer heart belt, the BJP did really well there. So, I mean, I don't know, is there anger against the government if that was the plan? Then I don't think so. And like AIM says, I mean, these are all tekadars, the farmers in that sense, they are very wealthy farmers who have a lot of laborers bonded to them. And it's more complex than that, and the other thing is that some crimes have taken place during in that point that people have died. There was assault. So it's kind of become really muddy, frankly. Sanghas Prachar Vibhag, Sunil Ambekar ji should be invited. Yeah, Sunil ji, I would love to invite him. In fact, I'll ask him. I'll say that it's been suggested. I would love to have him for a one-on-one interview. I think Sunil ji would be a good person. J Sai Deepak, yes. A lot of times his name has come up. J Sai Deepak versus Justice Kaju will give. Oh dear. Okay. Also, it's true you interject a lot while the discussion. You know, if this was like that anchor moderator kind of thing, then interjection would be an issue. The other problem also is that people can keep speaking. Like yesterday's discussion went on for an hour and a half. You know, it's the longest Sunday club we've ever had. Otherwise, we're done by like in 1 hour's time, 7 to 8, khalas. We went on to like 8:30. So sometimes I have to interject to like try and cut people short. I mean, I know it's annoying and it's rude, and it's really annoying actually more than rude, because I'm not rude, especially for the viewer. But what do you do? You know, at some point you have to say, okay, now let someone else speak. So that's what I try and do with that. Ma'am, can you bring Vikram Sood sir, who was ex-Raw chief? I think it will make show discussion interesting. That's a great suggestion. Uh, Srinivas Vyasarao asks, please get a Malvi or someone like Zakir Naik. Let us get an extreme views of a Muslim. But why do you want extreme views? Aren't they around enough? Don't we see that on TV all the time? Like, I remember I did this show with this Maulana, and he was, fire and brimstone and eyes flashing. And I remember it was a Republic debate. And during the show, I said to him, I said, the way you're talking and the way you're talking to me, you're actually scaring me. And I don't know if I can engage with you or listen to you because of that. So post the show, he came to me and he said, oh, why did you say that about me? I said, because you're embodying that stereotype, the long beard, the fiery eyes, of talking down to a woman. That's what the stereotype is, right? So he says, no, you don't know, my wife is a doctorate and this and that. So I said, then why don't you bring that progressive side to the debate? Why do you bring this kind of regressive side? So sometimes, I think these things happen. Advaita, do you intentionally make it a point to stay clear of religious topics? Sudhindra wants to know. No, I don't like intentionally make it a point, but I'm kind of tired of looking at everything from the religious perspective, from the perspective of religion. Because the moment you get into that trap, then you're just going to finger point and people are going to point back fingers at you. Net at the end of the day, we have to find a common ground. We have to be able to communicate as people, and the moment we get into this kind of discourse, I think it just goes downhill. So I find it just but I'm not afraid of like religious topics. I mean, if we have to discuss something, sure, we can go ahead and discuss it. But yeah, I definitely don't want hate speech. That's something that I don't want towards any faith, not just my own, but any faith. Anand says, if you don't face the muck, you will never know what needs to be clean and how to do it. Oh, I faced the muck enough. Yeah, now I just want conversation, you know, because the muck facing and muck throwing is like, is a never ending cycle. Trust me. Now really you have to look at conversations, and you have to kind of think of things from the sorry about that, from the India perspective, like what works for India, what doesn't work for India, and whether we should carry on or let it go. And those are the kind of conversations we need to have, not this you're right, I'm wrong, or you're wrong, and I don't know. I mean, those are endless. That cycle is endless. And frankly, I mean, all the mainstream channels are doing that anyway. Please bring Trump and Biden. I think that's going to be really difficult. Yeah, Harshal, that's horrible. That views in Kerala's Bakra Eid celebrations, absolutely. I mean, when it came to the first time round, the second wave, Kerala was really leading in terms of the numbers. And now, yet again, you have this issue where they've, slackened the rules for gathering because of Bakra Eid. I think it's suicidal, frankly. And for me, what's really weird is that Kavar Yatra has been banned, and the Supreme Court said that if you don't stop the yatra, then we will. Okay, fine. You don't want a public gathering. That's sensible. We are in the midst of a pandemic. We've just come out of a devastating second wave, and we don't want to see that again. So I get that. But then why not have the same standards for all gatherings, all large gatherings, all religions? So why is Kerala getting this break when it comes to Eid celebrations? It shouldn't be that way. I think it's very wrong. Absolutely. Advaita, would it be of interest to you to bring other content creators on your show? Ashish Thar, Ishkaran Singh. Well, we've had Abhinav Prakash. Abhinav has come on the show. So Shehzad also has his own YouTube channel. So he's on the show. So definitely, I mean, there's definitely space for that. A lot of people want Sanjay Dikshit to come also, so we'll definitely call him. Because we only do this once a week, it becomes a little difficult to get people on as often as we'd like them to, and because people also have their own shows that they're doing, so one has to manage a lot of stuff. But yeah, I mean, we hope to get as many people on board as possible, definitely, for sure. Also, I mean, please like, share, subscribe. I need to say that more often, but I never say it, I forget. But that would really be helpful, and please do hit the bell icon as well, so that you know when we're online, and that would really help us kind of connect with you more. And do keep sending in your feedback. That would really help us improve our quality in the coming months. Definitely, I want to introduce a few new, like I said, a few new shows, a few different topics, not necessarily only politics. I definitely want to pay a little more attention to what UP and Uttarakhand elections that are coming up, and I think UP is a big one, right? Because that's going to decide what's going to happen, and that's a big thing. Kerala model is to stretch second wave so long that the other states counter third wave later on. They will be countering second. Really, Harshal. I mean, I'm so disappointed because we had such. I mean, I live in Delhi. I've lost a close friend to the second wave in April, and I don't know why people are taking it so casually. I don't understand at all. I mean, what more do we have to go through as humanity for people to get serious about this? You can put the like, share, screen reminder on the screen too. Oh yeah, that's a good. I think we do that. Dell, don't we do that? Dell is there. We do that, but he's not speaking. Yeah, he's there, but he's not speaking. He may have left. He may have
No, we
left.
don't do that. We don't do that right now. But we
We
can
don't do
start
that
from
right
that.
now. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I think that's something that we need to do. So, Hill, thanks so much for watching. Please spread the word about us. We do want to have insightful, and we do want to have light conversations, because I think just the time that we're going through right now with this pandemic is a time where people are suffering uh, in a big way, and we just want to have conversations which add value and which are light-hearted and yet interesting and intelligent, hopefully. So that's really why we keep that tone going when we have these. But I want to thank you all for just help tuning in and helping me check out my audio and all of that. And we're going to try and improve our quality, where we have a little team now, and we'll hopefully get a bigger team, and be able to get you more interesting stuff. So thanks everybody for listening in. Thank you for helping with the audio check. I think we're good to go with the audio as it is now, and next we shall work on the lighting and so on and so forth. So thank you everyone. Have a great week and a great day, and we shall see you on Saturday with Khabro Ke Par. And this week, Parliament has started. The monsoon session is on. Today was the first day. I hope you saw Prime Minister Modi holding his own umbrella, and then you saw there was a video of Rahul Gandhi with two people holding his umbrellas. So I just found it interesting that on the day that the Prime Minister snapped, holding his own umbrella, Rahul Gandhi comes on TV with two guys like following him with umbrellas. So, well, so much for contrast. But anyway, thank you, everybody, and we shall chat with you soon. Bye. Please like, share, subscribe. Yes, and hit the bell icon.